Hey guys, welcome to another non-edited long-form video because the effort I use in them isn't really worth the views I get, but tell me if you want me to make this video again, but edited. Anyways, today I will be comparing Steam Deck to Switch 2 to Switch 1's. I'm going to bundle these two together. Would you rather have two used Switch 1s, or a brand new Switch 2, or Steam Deck? See, you can buy all of these used for much cheaper. You know, you can buy these for like $100 cheaper. You can buy these for like $80 each. And you can buy this for like $300. So Switch 2 and Steam Deck are very similar in used prices. I bought mine for $125 because I split with my sister and we found one for $150. This one I bought new at a Walmart, which came with broken joystick, well, broken Joy-Con. I had sent in for warranty repair, and the shipping was awful. It comes in a loose box and like that, in like a bag like that, in a loose box, like shaking around. It's not good. And then the Switch one has something. So one thing that all these three can do that this can't is YouTube. There's no Switch 2 YouTube app. You can't even use the Switch 1 YouTube app. But like, I always watch YouTube on my Switch. Steam Deck, you have to use the web browser, and it kind of glitches sometimes, but it's an actual YouTube thing. No. Now, if we're going for game prices, used Switch 1 games, always cheap. You can play the used Switch 1 games and the Switch 1 games you already own on your Switch 2. Steam Deck, if you own PC, which I don't, so I'm gonna just go with if you don't own a PC and a bunch of games already. Steam sales are always going, you know, all the Valve games are really cheap. Like, you can buy, like, every single, like, non-on sale, like, all the Valve games, $100. On sale, it's only, like, $20 for all of them. So, I'd say you could get a lot of good games for very cheap. Did I say 200? I meant 20. But, like, Portal 2, whenever it's on sale, $2, you know? And if you buy the bundle, it's, like, $1.50 for these two. It's always worth it, you know? Then, of course, you get mods on Steam Deck. Some work, some don't work, but a lot of them do work. You get to know if it works on Steam Deck or not, but, like, these ones you always know works. So, yeah. In the future, if you buy a PC, you can play your games on this. This, like, I assume Switch 3 will be compatible, because Nintendo's great at doing that. You know, I don't see why, if it's compatible with Switch 2 games with the Switch 3, why won't it be compatible with Switch 1 games, you know? So I think it might be like how the PS3 was at launch, you know, it's compatible with all the games, but they might remove it on the Switch 3 if that comes out, you know? Games, you know, you have like, there's only like 10 Switch 2 exclusive games that a lot of people are talking about versus the Switch 1, but it runs Switch 1 games better. My biggest problem with Switch 1 was it runs games really slow. Because you can play Switch 1 games on this, it basically just makes them playable. Like Lego 2K Drive, I couldn't access parts of the game, even though it was a Switch 1 version. On the Switch 2, it kind of worked, but like poorly optimized games for Switch 1 run better on Switch 2. Steam Deck has Valve certified, you know, you can see the little logo in the corner. So green means yes, it works. Yellow means might need a keyboard or monitor or something. And then that means like unsure or no. Then you can also use Google Chrome on this. You need to like mod this. These two aren't the moddable kinds, I think. That is a Switch 2, so I'd get killed if I did that, obviously. But if you're going for cheaper games, used for these ones, and then Steam sales, which honestly might be cheaper than the used games. And like, sure, you keep these forever, but you also kind of keep these forever. Seems really good at having games be playable in the future. And if you buy something new, you will be able to keep it. You just won't be able to resell them. You can resell these games. So if you're going by play it till you finish it and then resell it, that. But if you're going for I want to be able to play this game forever, yeah. But online games, Linux, doesn't really do good with online games. You can't really play Fortnite on this. Roblox, you have to install your own launcher, you know. I installed my own launcher for Roblox. It's called, like, Sober or something. I don't know. This, they have Fortnite that runs slow. Fortnite runs completely fine. You know, you even got the mouse. So, yeah, I don't really care for Fortnite. So, yeah, who cares? This one right here is my mom and sister Switch. This one. You can transfer games between all of these, but you can also do that with Steam Decks and your computer. And they all have SD card support. This one you need to buy a better SD card for. So, like, yeah. Now, if you were to bring something in like a Wii U, obviously the Wii U wouldn't win because you need to have big discs. It's not portable. So if Game Boy is, I'm just flexing that I have all this stuff. Oh. Watch. Oh, that cracked. Yep, that's cracked. Whatever. Yeah. Subscribe for next time where I compare the Switch 2 to the PlayStation 2.